which is not allowed at the airport.
Sorry?
That is not allowed at the airport.
Sorry, what is not allowed?
Filming in any manner is not allowed at the airport.
Or filming in any manner.
Oh dear. I know I finally look like a Smurfette, Papa Smurf, but I sure don't feel like one.
If you're saying goodbye, Johnny, hey, selfie, yes, that's fine. Your manner of filming is not allowed at the airport.
Yes, it's me, and I feel just like a Smurf.
What kind of manner is it?
Disorderly manner,
Which was I obstructing public?
obstructing my duty when asking you to move on and filming me is disorderly. An element of disorderly.
Because I denied you.
Likely to entice violence, could be, or yeah. Mr. King, I'm finding you sniggering a little bit off-putting, and ma'am, if I may say, Mr. King is sniggering at my comments.
Yes, I heard you too, Mr. King. It can be anything, any movement or noise that can be made by somebody sitting next door as an assistant to the defendant who's got in there as an witness may be misconstrued, so I'd ask you please to be silent.
Nanny Smurf!
Unless you're speaking to the defendant and assisting them, but your response to the witness's answer was, could be regarded as inappropriate.
I apologise, Your Honour.
That's
I
fine.
found it somewhat
You
amusing.
apologise. I've made the point, so we'll move right along.
Thank you.
You still,
Yes, we'll read that.
if you want to refer to the video, we may have to ask the constable to return to the seat.
No problem. Should be alright for now. Hello, Constable. Senior Constable. Here, is it? Yeah? Yeah. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good, thank you.
First question, why did you block me recording your ID?
I believe I was just generally blocking you recording me rather than my ID.
Why did you not identify when I asked?
I believe at that time I was talking to you about not filming. I know you said to me on your recording and yours, but I said, would you turn your camera off, would you stop recording? I was asking you to stop. So I was trying to encourage you to stop recording rather than worrying about my ID.
You're aware there's recorded videos all on the people?
Is what, sorry?
Are you aware there's all video recordings in the airport?
Not video recordings, no, there's not.
CCTV?
CCTV, yes, for security reasons. Not for someone's personal gain.
Personal gain or my personal security?
No, your personal gain.
Which is your interpretation? What gain? What gain to me is that personally?
Perhaps you could answer what gain, what were you, why were you recording everybody? What were you intending to gain from it?
You're not here to ask the questions.
You have to start your questioning again, sorry, on that.
What personal gain was it of mine to be recording?
Well, how would she know that? Because
She mentioned it.
Well, there was no other, alright, well she might attempt to answer it, but it's really, it's the reason why you were doing it.
For my own documentation purposes.
There's nobody else in the recording it. So you must have made a decision to record it for some reason, which only you know, but you don't have to answer that.
Right.
I mean, she'll do her best, but I don't think she can provide an answer for me.
Would you get to answer that question?
Oh, you can ask me the question again.
You said I was recording for my own personal gain.
Well, why else would you be recording people in the public?
The same reason there's recordings in the airport.
Oh, I see.
For my security. You said it's not common to have the ID. I'm familiar with the policing regulations 2008, section 4, evidence of ID.
Am I familiar?
Yes.
Yes, as far as I know, that's your QID on your shoulder, which I had on my shoulder.
Could we show policing regulations? This is section 4, policing regulations.
Oh, it can be handed document.
Thank you.
Can I get her to read the policing section?
What's that?
Can I get her to read the regulations?
So it's more appropriate you read it than her. She's reading it to herself now.
Right.
If you want to read it, to be otherwise it can be reduced as an exhibit, can't it? But I assume that you may or may not give evidence. It's over to you what you read it. You've asked her to read it. I don't think she should be asked to read it out loud. You've read it, have you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Could we have that with you?
Yes, I'll read it back. Thank you. Well, it's not really appropriate for you to do it, but thank you.
Why did you ask me not to record?
I was given the direction from airport monitoring over the police radio, as was Senior Constable Schuster, who we both heard, to go to the domestic terminal Jetstar Inn for a disorderly male who was filming members of the public. When we got there, I could clearly see that you were recording members of the public and the Jetstar operations manager leaning over a female at the counter who I asked, were you with that female? And he said no, so you know that's kind of yeah. And it's not allowed at the Auckland airport to be filming in such a manner that you were. That's why I asked you to stop recording.
So in what manner is that?
What do you mean in what manner is that?
She said I was filming in a manner
Yeah.
that wasn't allowed.
If you were at the airport saying goodbye to your son and you're waving off and you're filming, or someone's filming saying, see you in September, Johnny, you know, that's a different situation. But in this situation, the direction was that the male filming, such as yourself, was being disorderly and disrupting the processes of the flights, the Jetstar flight staff and members of the public in the queue.
Is it against the law to film in public, to record in public?
Not in public, however, the airport is a private place used by the public. It is that airport building is closed at night. The public are not permitted to be in there, and the airport is owned by the airport company, therefore private.
So is it open 24 hours, 7 days a week?
Not that building, no. It closes and it gets locked up. Nobody is in that building overnight. The domestic terminal, the international terminal, yes, is open 24/7.
Yeah. Okay. So it's open to the public. So does that make it a public place?
What we were that day.
Yes.
It's a private place, but used by the public. It is not a public place.
It said it was a public place. How could you tell something had gone wrong?
Well, that's not a question. What you should say is that. How can you tell that something's gone wrong? What are you referring to?
She had it in her statement. She testified in her statement.
Well, I don't know. Well, I can't understand your question. You might help me as to what was going wrong. What are you saying? You mean by that question?
Oh, she testified. Yeah. Yeah. Just when she was getting questioned.
You're directing your questions.
Yeah.
So I mean, what were you saying? How could she can't answer that? Yes, did you talk?
When you testified, you said that you could tell something had gone wrong because McIndoe, the security guard, was not engaging when you turned up.
He engaged with me initially, but he, as per normal practice of Skygate security officers, they will support police, and he did not approach you when Senior Constable Schuster and I approached, so, and I could read his face that he wasn't happy with the situation, because I've known him for a long time working at the airport.
So you know he's not a trained security guard?
He was, at the time, a Skygate security officer. But no different from a security guard such as the gentleman here, they are airport trained. And I can't answer how they're trained, I don't know, because I'm not a Skygate security officer.
Well, just when questioned, he told us he was not a trained security officer, but you've known him for how long?
I don't know how he's trained. They don't work in the same office as me or do any other, they're not trained. I have no idea, sorry, can't answer that.
When over a metre away, why did you say get that out of my face? Referring to the camera.
It was close to an metre.
Can you what as you being close to your face, meaning the proximity that my camera was to you, which was closer to Hare, looking at the video footage?
You were speaking with Senior Constable Schuster, however you had your camera directed at me, and
In your face.
yes, I consider it in my face, and yes, so in my personal space as a person.
It's just that, you know, I'm standing close to Aaron, but yet my hand is still bent, it's not extended. Like you say, to your face, you're probably 800 millimetres away.
Not a judge of saying how far, but I consider it was in my personal space. Whether you were 50 metres away and still filming me, I would still ask you to stop filming me. As my right, as human.
As your right.
Yes, as the Jetstar woman.
And what rights did I have on that day, which I tried to explain
We're
to you?
talking about distance.
I'm here asking the questions, not you. Since you brought it up.
It's my decision as to whether I allow the question and continue or not, and I am, and her answers.
So I'm to answer her question?
I didn't ask you
No,
a
she's not
question.
asking you a tricky question, she's answering yours.
She just said it.
Well, I'm not going to, but she's
Yeah.
explained that she would get, no matter what the distance, she regarded you as being in her personal space by filming her.
I'm just trying to understand your, just the reporting in public that there's no law against it, but yet you seem to have this delusion that you're not allowed to film in public, yet on every single occasion I've seen on YouTube, people are filming in public. If you do not want to be in that recording, you remove yourself.
I was a police officer sent to the disorderly male at the airport. I was not, even if I wanted to, I would not remove myself from that because I was doing my duty. And as far as I was concerned, I was being hindered greatly by your manner.
Was I disorderly at the time when you turned up?
Leaning over the counter with your phone, filming the Jetstar lady, yes. Leaning over the other member of the public while she's trying to organise her ticket, yes. And then being quite loud and obnoxious, saying you can't touch me, and just general manner was, yes, I consider you at that point to be at the beginning of disorderly behaviour. And like I said, I had been asked to go to the job to a disorderly male. So and then once I was there, after the fact, I went about doing my investigation to get my evidence together for the incident.
So you weren't called because the gentleman was recording the
Yes. Disorderly.
You were called because I was being disorderly.
I was called to the job, disorderly male, recording members of the public and workers, which is not allowed at the airport.
Sorry?
That is not allowed at the airport.
What is not allowed?
Filming in your manner is not allowed at the airport.
Or filming in any manner?
If you're saying goodbye, Johnny, hey, selfie, yes, that's fine. Your manner of filming is not allowed at the airport.
What kind of manner is that?
Disorderly manner.
Which was I obstructing public?
Obstructing my duty when asking you to move on and filming me is disorderly. An element of disorderly.
Because I denied you.
Likely to entice violence, could be, or Mr. King, I'm finding you sniggering a little bit off-putting, and ma'am, if I may say, Mr. King is sniggering at my comments.
Yes, well, I heard you too, Mr. King. There can be anything, any movement or noise that can be made by somebody sitting next door as an assistant to the defendant who's gotten that examining witness may be misconstrued, so I'd ask you please to be silent.
Certainly, Your Honour.
Unless you're speaking to the defendant and assisting him. but your response to the witness's answer was, could be regarded as inappropriate.
I apologise, Your Honour.
That's
I
fine.
found it somewhat
You
amusing.
apologise. I've made the point, so we'll move right along.
Thank you.
Did you attempt to grab my phone?
I consider that I attempted to redirect your hand away from filming me. And I asked you to stop several times.
Just regarding that question, am I obliged to what she asked? Am I obliged to
what?
To what she had asked regarding please stop recording? Am I obliged to decline that question that she had asked? Yeah.
Decline
She had asked me to stop
Were you
recording.
required to stop recording
Yes.
to request?
Yes.
Right, should have answered that.
Okay, so there's several incidences at the airport where people might be filming.
So yes or no?
No, you're not allowed to say that. She's answering. Don't interrupt when she's answering the question. When
Right.
she's completed the answer, you can then ask, instead of interrupting her, you can then ask, does that mean it's a yes or no? That's
Okay.
There's several incidences at the airport and several areas where you may see people filming, and when, as my role, I say, could you please stop filming? It's not allowed at the airport. The person will say, oh, sorry about that, and they put their phone away. However, in this case, it was a different scenario. Yourself totally declined and wouldn't oblige in any way, even with reasoning. So you may ask the question, are you obliged to follow direction? Most people do, because they are obliging and they're happy to cooperate with police.
So am I obliged to? So am I obliged to comply with your request?
You chose not to, and that's why we went down the track of what you recorded further and what your wife recorded as well.
So was that yes or no?
Well, I can't really answer whether a person is obliged or not, because that's like a human. You can be an obliging person, a very helpful, agreeing person, or you can be an obnoxious, rude, declining, and just not able to put yourself out of the situation and follow a person's direction. That's my answer. You chose not to. And when you're talking about obliging, that's a person's manners. And most have manners and most do oblige, but you chose not to oblige.
So you're saying I've got no manners?
I didn't say that.
It's an implication.
I didn't say that.
Verbal trespass. What are the correct steps to lawful trespass? Trespassing myself.
Yep. You're asked to leave, you're asked to move on. A person declines, and a person is told they could be trespassed, then they are trespassed, and then when they still decline to move, then they can be arrested for trespass.
You testified that you got physical first. Was that reasonable and justified?
Have I testified that I got physical? Sorry, when was that?
During the questioning.
Sorry, who questioned me about being physical?
Was it the prosecutor?
I don't think so.
I don't understand either.
No.
Okay.
Well, as you managed to redirect my hand or grab my phone, do you not call that physical? As I was being questioned at that point.
I don't know, that's a good, well, there's no issue, she did reach out to your phone, is it right?
Yes, I redirected his hand, trying to attempt to get a bit away from my face. Yes.
How much time did you give me to leave between warning me and arresting me?
I didn't take stock of the time, but as far as I'm concerned, it was reasonable, and under the circumstances, I felt we needed to be moved on quite quickly so that the airline could continue operating and get the people rebooked onto another flight or whatever they were doing for their work.
Are you aware that it was only 47 seconds had passed?
No, I wasn't. Like I said, I didn't take stock of the time.
Does that length of time seem reasonable?
Under the circumstances, yes, because you needed to be removed from the area as you had been disorderly, disruptive, hindering, and were trespassed. You needed to be removed so that the airline could continue to operate.
When on the video does it show me hindering the public, being disorderly?
Well, you'd have to play the video and ask her to point out.
I'd just like to say, Mum, that the hindering is hindering my duties.
Yes, all right.
Yes.
You don't answer the question, yes.
Yes. And disorderly is, oh, you want me to answer that too? When were you disorderly, as far as your video is concerned? Or the whole? Okay, as far as your video is concerned, in the circumstance of the elderly gentleman, the one you referred to as Blinky Bill, etc., that's extremely disorderly. It's not the normal behaviour of how a person would be.
Well, did you finish the question we interrupt?
Yeah.
Her answer?
Yeah, he asked you to move along because you were, his consideration from your video only, because I've not met the man, is that you were hindering the airline process and annoying everybody, and you were disorderly when you were filming the Jetstar operations manager when she was trying to do her duties. You were disorderly and leaning across the other members of the public over the counter. You were disorderly when you were being obnoxious towards myself and argumentative. That's yes.
Argumentative or trying to explain my rights?
Argumentative, just declining every request and then declining every direction.
Which I have a right not to accept?
No, you don't. Not at that stage.
I have no right to accept or decline.
Question before you start arguing with it. You put questions, not have an argument. Right, wait for the answer and then ask another question.
Okay.
But this is this is question and answer, not an exchange of views, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Yes. Entitled to ask questions, but not to
why did you pull my handcuffed hands apart, causing me pain when trying to open the car door?
I don't quite understand what you're saying about pulling your hands apart. No, so I don't understand that question. But from what I can see from the video is that I was on your left, Senior Constable Schuster was on your right, and when I went to open the door you yanked me from doing that because you continued to use your body to sway me, to swing me.
Probably because I was in pain because the handcuffs.
No, you finished the question.
Right.
So the
Sorry, I was
answer
just
to your
trying to
question-
reply.
No, it's not, I told you, this is not a, it's not for you to sort of back and answer when she hasn't finished your question.
Right.
The answer to your question. So if you finish the answer to your question, pause and then ask the next question.
Sorry, Cherie.
Because it's important we all hear what she says and then hear what you say when you ask the next question. So,
Yeah. I didn't hear you complain about the pain other than when we were attempting to cuff you around the corner before walking to the car. So I consider you didn't complain at that time when I was trying to open the car door at all, but you did go yank me back like that. And if that hurt you, well, and how you were handcuffed is the everyday common way that you were handcuffed. So if you did experience pain, which you never spoke of at the time, then you inflicted it upon yourself because you used my body weight, your body weight, and my body weight around. And that's quite clear in there, you did that several times.
Right. Okay then. But the cuffs were not on you, they were on me. Correct?
Eventually.
Hare just had to adjust it after told him that they were too tight. He readjusted it, which is the footage shows that.
That's quite a common practice for us prior to putting a person in the police car to double lock them so that they don't become tight on the person's wrist. And what conversation you had with Senior Constable Schuster about those handcuffs, I have no idea. I think you were still talking to me actually at the time when he was doing that. Yes, because that's when I was writing things in my notebook. He was still yelling at me over something at that time. Yeah.
You say I yanked him back when you tried to open the door. Were you aware you were pulling my hands that were handcuffed?
Oh, I consider from the video anyway, from what I can see, is that there was plenty of room for me to reach for the door because I reached out myself. But you yanked me back, so, and you never complained about it hurting you at that time, and I reiterate that. You never, ever, you didn't complain. You never said to me, You just yanked my arm, you never said anything, so no.
You say you attempted to read me my rights when I was saying, who are you? Where's that shown in the video?
Of you yelling at me, is it? Or, sorry?
Should I say
Where's what shown in the video?
You say you attempted to read me my rights when I was saying, who are you? Where's that shown on the video? You attempting to read me my rights?
Yes, I recall that I was verbally trying to tell you your rights. I did not read them because I would have to get my notebook out and read them from our aid memoir. However, I recall trying to recite them to you, but that's when you yelled at me, who are you, who are you?
So that would have been on recording? You trying to recite them to me?
I don't know if it's on your recording, but I recall trying to say them to you at that time. Yeah.
30 minutes, 53 seconds?
13.
Yes.
I was 13:50 here.
For what? Why, excuse me, ask them why they're arresting me.
Hey, look, if he speaks to his son, it will calm him down.
Ask
Please,
them why they're
please,
arresting
please.
me. Ask them why they're arresting me. Trespassing. What have I done wrong?
You were asking
By
me.
whom? By whom? Trying to get to Queenstown?
Please,
By you.
please.
Who are you? Who are you?
Please.
Who are you?
Okay,
Honestly.
come on, please.
Turn that off.
Tell
Oh,
son,
I'm not
tell
turning
son
it
to
off.
ring Mark. No, don't
I
turn it off.
can't.
No.
I can't turn
Don't
it off,
turn it
sorry.
off. Film the police. Film the police. This is the whole reason why you film the police.
Now, was there any indication you were trying to read my rights on that part of the video?
I can't hear what I'm saying to you because you're yelling over the top of me, so I can't tell you.
But
But I
there was no
recall,
attempt to read my rights.
yeah, I recall I did attempt to tell you your rights, advise you of your rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you hear my wife speaking, if you attempted to read me my rights, it would have picked it up on the footage.
Don't know.
No further questions, Your Honour.
No re-examination, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honour. That's the case for the police.
Right. So this is the case for the police. That concludes the evidence for the police. So it's now your decision whether you wish to give evidence or not, or four witnesses. And all four witnesses. Do you want time to discuss it? Thank you. Well, I think if you're going to be taking some sort of advice, I will take an adjournment, all right? Now, it's a brief adjournment, and you can let, come back in and you can let me know what your decision is. But I'm not sitting here while you're giving advice to your friend. It's not appropriate.
Okay, thank you.
What was the verbal stand?